Okay, so the last idea for today's notes is multiply radicals. So above, guys, we talked about how to add or subtract radicals. When we add or subtract, that's a very delicate process where we have to have like terms, so to speak. But when we multiply, multiplying is a little bit easier because you don't think as much. You just kind of go. Everything multiplies. So when you multiply, you don't care about things looking the same. You just stick them together and you go. So how do we do that with steps? Step 1. The radicals must have the same index. So there is that one condition when you multiply, because that does change the value. So in that case, these are all square roots, so we're okay there. Once we have the same index, we simply multiply the coefficients together, and then we multiply the radicands together. In other words, multiply the outsides, and then multiply the insides. Once you do that, then we simplify the radical if possible, again, always looking for perfect squares. Perfect squares are going to help us a whole bunch in all these different radical questions. So for example L. In this case, I have the same index of a 2 and a 2, so they're both square roots. So I multiply 4 times, there's a 1 here, so 4 times 1 is 4, those are my coefficients. And then I multiply together the two radicands, in other words, 3 times 12. So 3 times 12 will be 36. So I get 4 radical 36. Once I do that, then my last step is going to be to look at what my result here and see if I can simplify this square root a little bit more. In this case, it's kind of hopefully a little bit clearer because the square root of 36 is a perfect square. So this comes out as just a 6. And in this case, there's no more square root left behind because I've cleared it all out. So I have 4 times 6, which is going to be 24. So in this example, once I've done all of my work, I get 24 as a result. Example M. So here it's 2 radical 5 times 3 radical 10. Again, I don't care that the radical 5 and radical 10 are different. When I multiply, I just put them together. So here's how it works. Multiply the coefficients, so 2 times 3 is 6. And then simply multiply the radicands. So 5 times 10 is 50. At this point of the question, what you need to consider is, can you simplify the square root any more? So think about 50. 50 is going to be 1 times 50, but it's 2 times 25. And we hopefully at this point are getting better. 25 is a perfect square. So I can simplify this down a little bit more. So I'm going to write this as the square root of 2 times 25. Remember, this is only the square root of 50, so this 6 is still here on the outside. But I know the square root of 25 is 5, so I get 5 radical 2. But this 6 is still here. So to finish this question then, I can do one more thing here and multiply 6 times 5 to get 30 radical 2. So this is a simplified version, a result, of multiplying this original question. Guys, again, I need to urge you, please, to learn your perfect squares. Perfect squares are going to be used often with any kind of radical or square root question. And then I want to make one more point. Guys, throughout these last several notes, I've been using the term radical. So the term radical and square root, they're kind of interchangeable. So I jump back and forth between them. If that was a little bit confusing, guys, know that you can interchange those in these notes. So radical and square root are interchangeable when describing or reading what you have on the screen.